Today, I feel elated to introduce my guest in yet another face-to-face episode. He's an epitome of perseverance and hard work, an impressive medical degree and specialization in infectious diseases. This doctor is also the president of the New Jersey State AAPI chapter. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Pradip Shah. Thank you for coming to our studio, Dr. Shah.
Thank you for allowing me to give opportunity, and I look forward.
Dr. Shah, talk to us about AAPI. What is the forum all about?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you that what is AAPI. AAPI is called American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. We have a central AAPI, and then we have a local chapters AAPI. And I'm one of the president of this New Jersey State AAPI. New Jersey State AAPI has been formed about in 2018, and we have been helping the community, also the international medical graduate and community service. You know that the South Asian community are very high risk to develop coronary artery disease, also the diabetes, and more important, sometimes they are not aware of that they have a disease. So we try to tell them that what is the need to be done, how to prevent. As you know, nowadays the prevention is more than the cure possibility, and we try to help them out, make them awareness. We try to help them to see, and this we do it what is called the health camp and health fairness.
So talking about the rise in the coronary heart diseases, we see the trend in lot of heart attacks and heart failures, especially in the South Asian, especially in India as well. Why do you think this is happening?
Well, there are many reasons to that. First of all, as a South Asian community, we sometimes not aware of that we have to check up and they don't do checkup frequently. Number one. Number two, as I say, every adult person when he become 18-year-old, they need to first check their cholesterol and diabetes first, because these are the silent disease. Now what is the silent disease? Let me explain. Silent disease is you have a disease but you don't recognize until symptom, but when the symptoms really happens, it's too late to do anything sometimes. So the awareness that this can happen to you, and you need to take care of that and prevent if anything happens. Like to tell you example, most of the South Asian community, their cholesterol is by the age of 30, I would not say 18, but 30, they have either cholesterol problem, about 60 to 70%, which is quite a usual population, and they have it. So if they are aware of that, they have a cholesterol problem, they can take care of that before it damages the heart. How the cholesterol damages you. It can affect your heart, it can affect your brain, you can get stroke, heart attack, you can lose your peripheral vascular supply blood, that means you can lose the limbs, your kidney fails, all those. So you want to prevent rather than having the disease and then it's too late sometime, because whatever damage occurred to the arteries and vein, it does not come back. So we have to prevent that. And that is how you do. So every South Asian community has to have some checkup by the 18 years of age and 30 years. I mean, to do that.
You specialize in infectious diseases,
Yes.
and Corona was here. We've all gone through it everywhere around the world. Tell me, is there any connection with people who've got COVID and heart attack? Because somehow I see the young people, the younger generation, they are getting the heart attacks, and many of them are not making it alive.
Yeah. Yes, that is very true. Corona, what is it? COVID has done. COVID is basically a virus. When it starts infecting you, it's usually the virus dies within 7 to 10 days. But the damage it occurs, it causes lot of inflammation in the heart arteries, brain arteries, and peripheral vascular supply of the blood. And when you have an inflammation, that is same thing, cholesterol and the virus, it causes a lot of inflammation what it means is it block the artery and supply. So that is called heart attack. Now, what is the brain attack? Same thing. The supply to the brain, blood supply to the brain is been cut off for whatever reason. So inflammation, sometimes you have a blood clot which goes into the brain and that is stroke. And also the arteries in the leg, particularly leg is more affected than the upper extremity because of the peripheral part of the body. And that causes that. The COVID has actually, I would summarize it that it's so notorious for causing the inflammation and blocking the artery. So the symptom people are telling that, I had a COVID 1 year ago, but they still can't breathe. They are tired, fatigued because of the inflammation in the arteries, and that the inflammation is causing that problem.
So that cannot be reversed, or?
Well, it's very difficult to reverse. See, that is the idea is. So whenever there is a COVID infection, we start the medication called dexamethasone, which is a steroid to prevent the inflammation and to. Also, there is a monoclonal antibody which prevents further damage. Also, we have given that, we have worked it, and the latest medication came out is called Paxlovid, which is the direct killing the virus, which means it is very effective within the 5 days of the virus you have, because it kills the virus, so the damage does not. The key is if you get rid of the virus from the day one, you won't have a lingering effect of the COVID.
And coming back to AAPI now, in June, AAPI concluded its historic 40th convention. Walk us through that. How have these conventions evolved over the years?
Well, AAPI always have a convention around the 4th of July, sometime in the June end or beginning of the July. And people do there where we have a convention to map out what we are going to do the next year. Also the CME, also of the part of that. Also to see, my view is this for AAPI, to do, because we are local chapter, so help the local people. That is my main aim of the AAPI. And AAPI, there are two main divisions I have done it. One is called the community service. One is called the international medical graduate. You know all that, myself, I'm an international medical graduate. It's become little bit difficult for the international medical graduate, because they now have to have a preceptorship. Now what is preceptorship? They have to rotate with one of the doctors here and feel, what it is. And I'm planning after my gala, which is on October 8 at Imperia in New Jersey, I'm going to do the list of the doctors who are willing to help these doctors to do their preceptorship or their, so that they have experience and they look like, as you know, that India practice and the American practice is completely different. So they need to feel it, and I think it will benefit them how we practice in USA, how actually I have practiced in Bombay, India, and here. So I know exactly what the problem is, what they face it. But this is for their knowledge and to get into the residency program of America, we like to do. Now, coming back to the community service, I believe that we need to do local help also, like we help in the soup kitchen, blanket donation to the, as you know, the Thanksgiving around that, and we start distributing the blanket donate to the, needy people, whoever in the local, you don't have it, and they are lying on the street in the cold weather of -degree. So we have done that blanket donation program, and we coordinate with the township of Edison and the Woodbridge, and we tell them, so they tell us where to go and give it to that. So blanket donation is very good program.
There are needy people in
Yes,
Edison,
there are.
New Jersey.
There are. Believe it or not, there are people who they are lying on street with -degree. You can imagine how difficult. So whatever blanket donation, even the jacket donation, we give it to them so that they have at least some comfort in there.
Course.
And the other thing is a soup kitchen. Around Thanksgiving and the Christmas, we go to the local kitchen. We try to get the money and donate them, or we prepare the food and give it to the needy people, And that is the purpose of my gala. We know that woman empowerment, which we like to do, As you know, sometimes women cannot come out and to do their, so we want to help them to come out and help themselves also, because sometimes they have a difficulty, obstacles, to get into. So those who are talent, we would like to do that,
What are the core values and the shared visions that different chapters of AAPI hold?
The central AAPI, as I say, they are CME and they also help out the local chapter to do. Like to give you this blanket donation, actually we started in New Jersey State AAPI, and the central AAPI realized that this is very important part of the, so they also adapted, and they are giving the money to us to distribute in the community where needed. So that is how we are helping them out to do that, whatever help needed. CME credit is there, and women empowerment and the women health is now newer topic we have picked up and we are trying to do. So the AAPI as GOM is not one, it's a multiple goal, and we try to prioritize ways which chapter want what, and the central AAPI also realize that they have a goal.
Okay. So as we mentioned that NJ chapter of AAPI was formed in 2018. What has been the mission of this chapter? How did you start?
We started with no money, let me just put it that way. We did very well in the sense that, as I say, that blanket donation we started actually, which is, and it's accepted all over the USA, all the chapters have accepted that, which is a very good thing. So, so that is number one goal. Number two, also the needy people who are hungry over there, at least we try to do on the 2 occasions minimum. One is Thanksgiving and one is Christmas, which is auspicious days.
How do you promote patient care, health care for all, including the uninsured population, strengthen the bridges with other communities, organizations, and government bodies?
Fortunately, at least in New Jersey, I know that there are a lot of clinic available, which is what we call for the indigent patient, that help. Even the right here in the JFK hospital have their family clinic, they can go there, There is a Plainfield healthcare clinic is there, in nearby road. There are always, and you know what you need to do? If you look into the CDC to get the help for the health, it will tell you where it is. So cdc.gov is a very good source, or New Jersey State Health Department, if I remember correctly, something like that. You Google and say that, and you have to narrow down to search that those who cannot afford or what can we get free help. There is a available free help. Everything is available, and if you search, and the good part is it is your fingertip. You have a phone, you can search it, or computer in the home. Nowadays you don't have to even have a phone. You have to. It's all in the Google, cdc.gov, New Jersey State Department, and even the local Edison Health Department, EPT. To just give you example, Edison, all the county, as you know, the South Asia, the TB is very common, So they have a very good network. Those who have TB or those who are exposed to TB, the people in the house, they do screening, they give medication and all that. So you don't have to feel like that you don't have money and you cannot, you can get help very well.
So, Dr. Shah, how do you feel about the influx of the illegal immigrants, considering they might not be able to afford the right insurance network with a wider coverage? They might need specialized help and they cannot get that. What do you feel about this whole?
Fortunately, let me just tell you, we as a medical community, we don't recognize that this is uninsured or not insured, in the hospital at least, We have so many people who come and without insurance. See, good part about one of the health law, anybody who knock the door of the ER, the patient has to be stabilized there without insurance, without anything. They cannot turn down them that you cannot come here. So which is a very good, this is the only country where it is a law that you knock the door of the ER, they will not send you back.
Even if you require like a heart surgery, anything.
No, the rule is this, that you have to be stabilized first in the emergency room. Now, they may not admit you, but if needed surgery, they will refer you if they do their own, or they will refer to the other hospital. But it's a very basic law which I really appreciate US government to do that. It's a basic law. Any patient who comes to the ER has to be stabilized first, do necessary what is needed, and then they can discharge. No. So let's say a patient, I'll give you very small, a patient who has appendicitis, which everybody knows. And if he needs surgery, they cannot discharge him. They have to do surgery in the hospital and stabilize him. So it's and I really admire, it's a humanity, what do you call it?
Right.
Humanity. And that is taken care of here.
And nobody will send collection agents after you.
That is a different story, but you have to come out and tell them that, this is what my position is. Yes, they will send you the bill, there is no doubt about that. But you can show them that I don't have money, That is what I say.
So again, with illegal immigrants, there has also been an increase in fentanyl and other drugs across the US. Kids in school are exposed and a record number of young OD deaths have been taking place. Do you see this as an issue to address in the AAPI forum?
Yes, definitely. That is also one of the, I'm glad you mentioned that. We need to education, that is called the value and the culture, which is our culture is also. We need to teach each student and everything that do the right thing, even though you may have a peer pressure. People say, oh, take this. But you, as a parent, as a teacher, you need to talk to your kids and see what have you done and what is wrong was in the school or anything. And guide from the beginning. Just don't wait until it happens, then it's too late. From the beginning of that, ask them who are peer, what were they doing in the school, whom did you meet, what they were doing, and see if they mention anything about drug, teach them. Or even you can tell them that, listen, drug is no good. It may be temporarily benefit, but overall is destroy.
But tell me, schools are not aware that in high school especially drugs are happening?
They are aware, but I think the parents have the more role than anybody else in this part. Yes, high school are also aware of, teachers are aware of that, they do educate. But as I say, the more learning is from the parents. Also, you can have like the education seminar for the kids at a certain interval and see what are the good for you, what is good for your health, drugs, what can it cause. And I believe that one time I had done it in the very beginning when I came this country with my daughter. A very good poster and all the education that what does cigarette smoking does, black lungs. And actually my daughter had a picture placed on the billboard about black lungs and what can cause you harm to this. So it's a education, yes, and we are also interested in doing with the young kids, and that is young generation of the AAPI, what we youth AAPI, and we are helping them to every seminar or everywhere it is. The drug need to be defined. What are the drugs and what are the side effects? What can cause you? What it causes you is very, very important that we do it in the community. And the earlier you tell them is better before it get too late. So the really start in from first grade onward. Even though they may not know, but believe me, it is everywhere, rampant. Okay,
right.
And they need to teach the value of our culture and all the value of the drugs. What the alcohol is the most common, rather than even drugs. Alcohol is the most commonly, and the smoking. These are the two main common.
Right.
What is called addiction.
Especially this e-cigarette coming in the market.
Well, I will tell you one about this e-cigarette. People think e-cigarette is bad, but I mean it's not as bad as smoking. But believe me, the one e-cigarette which has a tobacco as bad, it's even worse than that. People think that you are not going to get to, they smoke more. And believe me, I've been seen in the admission 18-year-old, 20-year-old, 22-year-old with lung damage, in the fluid in the lung, and we are scratching our head. Why this young person has it? And it has damaged lungs already, you know. They get pneumonia so commonly. So if a patient who has a 20-year-old who has no underlying disease should not get pneumonia, ideally. So when they come, we know that there is something wrong. We need to find out what caused that. And one of the most common cause nowadays is e-cigarette, you know. And believe me, it is a also problem because it is promoted that way. It's not as bad as smoking, but it is a problem.
It is. So we were talking about giving back to the community. Are there charitable blood banks, free screenings, physical and mental camps for senior citizens as well?
Yes, that is also part of it. Particularly, though our community has a lot of support to seniors, you know, they do help it out. But we see sometimes that the children are not staying nearby and they are going, you know, because of their business and work, which believe it, you know. So how do we help it out? There is one which is called the daycare, you know, for the senior. So that's good, and they have a contact with the doctor. So if anything goes, I do get many calls, particularly as an infectious disease. COVID now, in 2.5 years, I got multiple calls. Also, the TB, which is common, you know, people in our South Asian community, the TB questions and all that we do. And I myself have gone into the this daycare and educate them. If you have any symptom, please go and check it out and see, you know. So that is the education we have to do to the. They know, but the timely information is very important, you know, in this.
What's next in the AAPI NJ chapter? We were talking about the gala earlier. What should we look forward to?
As you know, I took over the presidency on the July 1st. And you know, summer is usually slow, you know, people are not here, they are out of vacation and all that. So the first event I'm doing is October 8 at Imperia. The main purpose of this, two purposes of this. One, of course, we have to collect the money to do our program, CME, local community service, you know, blanket donation and all that. But at the same time, I want to get the people to aware of that we are going to start all this international medical graduate, foreign medical graduate program, which is, you know, to teach them. As you know that for foreign medical graduates to do all this, the preceptorship, there are private company who are charging $4,000, $5,000 to them. And we like to do as a free.
Wonderful,
you know.
Wonderful.
Okay. So we like to say them that yes, we'll help you out. We'll try to do that program and help you out. So what I have done is I'm truncating the specialty wise, family practice, internal medicine, pediatric, and all the other specialty. The people, the doctor who want to help them. So have one more, and then ask them which were they interested, where they want to go. So we can connect them to this doctor. So that myself and my daughter who is practicing with me, so we are doing the infectious disease and you know that India, the infection is so common. Actually, it's the #1 leading cause of death in India, the infectious disease. The most common is diarrhea. People are dying from diarrhea, you know, and the malaria is the second cause of the death in
India.
And the third one is the TB, tuberculosis. So these are the #3, #1 disease. So I believe you educate the people about the disease and that, and more they accept that will be helpful to them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Shah, for talking to us and spreading awareness about AAPI and its New Jersey chapter.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come here. I hope I can convey message and I can do more for community and foreign medical graduate.
Of course. Thank you.